The June 16, 2017 public board meeting of the Greater Dayton RTA Board of Trustees is hereby called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The mission of RTA is to provide great value, dependable service, and to be responsive, timely, and accountable for all that we do. Our vision is to be a premier public transportation provider that connects people and communities. Our motto, it's time to ride. Would you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Hurd.
Here.
Ms. Harrison.
Here.
Mr. Toronto.
Here.
Mr. Hovey.
Here.
Howard.
Present.
Mr. Lumpkin.
Here.
Mr. Weckerford.
Here.
And Mr. Williamson.
Here.
Thank you.
We do have a quorum. We can conduct business. In front of you, you have the agenda for today. Are there any questions, comments, or changes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and second that we approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The agenda has been approved. For the minutes of the May 2nd, 2017 board meeting, they were presented for review to all board members prior to today's meeting. And unless there is any board member who requests a reading of the minutes, I'll ask if there are any corrections or additions to the minutes as presented to you. Having heard no request for a reading of the minutes nor any corrections or additions, the minutes stand approved as presented. Next we have, we're going to have a presentation from our customer advocacy group. Brandon?
Well, good afternoon. I want to welcome today Bruce Barcelona and Kirsten Frankopi, who are two of our heads. Bruce is the president of our customer advocacy group. And today we're going to talk a little bit about what the program is about and what we're looking to accomplish and some of the things that have been done and some of the things that we're looking forward to. I also want to introduce Nathan Owens. Works in our communications department, and he is the liaison for RTA in ensuring that this group works together and that we're able to accomplish what we're working on. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Bruce.
We'll be very short. This is just an opportunity for us to share with you what this group is about, when we began, and all that, some of that information. It began in 2013 with a mission statement of really getting input from riders and organizations that are involved with public transit, and to really be a sounding board for RTA. You'll see a list of, through the years, some of the different organizations that have been part of CAG, Adamus, Area Agency on Aging, the City of Dayton, DPS, Sinclair, Public Health, multiple agencies that have partnered in this, in CAG. Then through the years, there have been special projects that we've been involved in. This is one of the first ones that we became involved in, testing, being the test group for the smart card. When we heard a presentation on Adopt-A-Stop, as members of CAG, we reached out to different organizations in the community to Adopt-A-Stop, and the stop in Beaver Creek was adopted because of CAG. An initiative near and dear to my heart was the smoke-free bus stops. And so as a group, though, because we do have representation from all ages, all different types of mobility. There was a great discussion in CAG about this initiative. We voted with 100% that this is an initiative that we would like RTA to look at. And in time then, RTA became the first transit authority in the state of Ohio to adopt tobacco-free and smoke-free bus stops. After hearing from MVRPC about the significant rise in pedestrian safety, we partnered with them in promoting this street smart safety advertising. And then most recently, with Five Rivers Metro Parks partnering in CAG, we looked at an opportunity for a new grant that Five Rivers Metro Parks wrote in Safe Routes to Parks, and I'm going to have Kirsten share some information on that.
Thank you, and hello, everyone. Eric Sauer at Five Rivers Metro Parks is really the mastermind behind this, but he was not available this afternoon. So I'm just going to step in and say we are very excited that that Five Rivers Metro Parks sort of reached out and invited us all to be involved in this, and he was very, very important that RTA be a partner and the customer advisory group be on board, because what the Safe Routes to Parks grant is going to do, this is we are one of the top 10 pilot sites in the nation, and there we go. So this is a partnership between National Recreation and Parks Association, the National Safe Routes Partnerships, and CDC is involved, and a few other agencies. But it really is to build a new model of getting people to and from the parks properties, and using the bus stops as a terrific point of access, looking at how far the park entrances are from existing bus routes and bus stops in the neighborhoods, and making sure that we have a really good, safe way to get people that first and last mile to the parks in a convenient and friendly operation. So the park that we've picked is going to be Wesleyan Metro Park, and the Wolf Creek Trail runs alongside of that. So this is going to be, in this coming year, our new project. And we've already mapped out where the bus routes are those yellow lines, and the stops along the bus routes are little diamonds that are hard to see, but you can see the green dots along the park border. That's the Metro Park, Wesleyan Metro Park, called out. And so those are the access points, the park entries that we need to get connected. So just a very concrete example of how close some things can be, but not quite there. So we're going to continue to work on this and hopefully bring something new back to you guys as a result.
And what I didn't mention is we certainly encourage new membership all the time from new organizations and individuals. There's an application process and an interview process, but we're always, we welcome new membership to CAG.
I want to thank Bruce for his leadership, and we from the beginning we want this group to manage itself. We want the public to know that we want the governance and all of that really to be in the hands of the folks that serve on the committee, and we certainly appreciate the fact that people donate a lot of time, and sometimes it's work time or their own personal time. Is that correct, Mama? To serve on committees like this for us, and we certainly appreciate that. So we definitely want to thank you. This is something that we talked about for years. It's in place. It's a great group. And I'm really excited that the media came out today because they heard you were going to be here, Bruce, and present on this very important topic.
Right.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have committee reports, and let's start with Mr. Lumpkin. with the Finance and Personnel Committee.
Thank you, Madam President. The Finance and Personnel and Planning Committees met, sorry, it's in my face, on May 16th, and as a result, the Finance and Personnel Committee is recommending 2 action items for the board's consideration. Action item number 2, miscellaneous overhead trolley parts at various locations. The purpose of this procurement is to obtain overhead infrastructure parts for the Greater Dayton RTA. The overhead parts are for an upcoming RTA infrastructure projects, which include refurbishment of the section of Wayne Avenue where the city is upgrading the street, I-75 Phase 2, which is to upgrade our existing infrastructure on West Monument Street and West First Street, and the Main Street Bridge Replacement Project. Mr. Bob Brzezinski provided a detailed explanation at our committee meeting, and the supporting information is included in today's board package. Bob is available to answer any questions that the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the committee, I move to award a contract to Phoenix Mining in the amount of $109,674. Procurement will be funded with federal grants funds.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that we award a contract for miscellaneous overhead trolley parts to Phoenix Mining in the amount of $109,674. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The contract has been granted to Phoenix Mining.
Action item number 3, food and beverage vending services. The purpose of this procurement is to contract with a vendor to provide food and beverage vending services to the Greater Dayton RTA. The vendor will provide microwaves, utensils, plates, and condiments using new or refurbished vending machines with encasements where necessary. Since RTA does not have a cafeteria or restaurant at most locations, the vending service is provided to make food, snacks, hot and cold beverages available to employees and the public at the transit center. This contract will generate revenue for the RTA. Ms. Deborah Howard provided a detailed explanation at our committee meeting, and the supporting information is included in today's board package. Deborah's available to answer any questions that the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based on the recommendations of the committee, I move to award a contract to AVI Food Systems Incorporated for a 5-year period with a guaranteed annual commission rate of 24.7% from sales at Right Stop Plaza and at the Longworth campus at 26.9% from sales at the RTA transit centers. Commissions will be paid to RTA on a quarterly basis, and there will be an annual promotional fund of $3,000 and custom decor funds of $6,000 for the Longworth maintenance and operation break rooms.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and second that we award a contract to AVI Food Systems Incorporated for food and beverage vending services. Are there any questions or comments? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The contract has been granted to AVI Food Systems Incorporated. You have a report.
Yes, ma'am. February 2017 sales tax update. At our meeting, Mr. Robert Thomas reported that the February 2017 receipts are $49,000 higher than February 2016. This equates to a 1.5% increase. Year-to-date, February 2017 receipts are $204,000 higher year-to-date. That equates to a 3.4% increase. Also, Mr. Thomas reported that for April 2017, RTA's net income after local depreciation is $548,000 compared to a budgeted loss of $116,000. April 2017 year-to-date net loss after depreciation is $69,000 compared to a year-to-date budgeted loss of $1.18 million. The details associated with the financial statements are included in the board package. All 4 months of operation of RTA's realized a $1.11 million positive variance as compared to budget. And this concludes my report, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Let's move on to the Planning Committee. Ms. Howard?
Thank you, Madam President. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees met for a jointly held meeting on May 16th and we have one action item for the board's consideration. Action item number 4, updated Facilities Code of Conduct and Rules of the Road. RTA has established policies and procedures to ensure safety and security at all of our facilities and on our bus fleet. The Facilities Code of Conduct and Rules of the Road were last updated by the board in January 2013. Proposed revisions of each policies are presented today for your consideration. RTA Legal Counsel and our Chief Executive Officer are available to answer any questions that the board members may have. Based upon the recommendation of counsel and staff, I move to recommend the board adopt the proposed revisions to the Facilities Code of Conduct and Rules of the Road and instruct staff to carry out the necessary public notification process.
Is there a second?
Second?
Are there any questions or comments on this action item?
Mark, if I may, Madam President. Mark, I believe it might be appropriate if you comment and let it be known that it isn't the wishes of the board on its own to make this change, but we are complying with the laws of our nation and the deliberations we went through to make this particular change.
Absolutely. There were long deliberations. There are multiple changes in the law, and I would defer to Jonathan, obviously, on those. But, of course, we start from the position that the safety of our customers and our employees, obviously, is our highest priority. So that's something we care about very deeply. And after careful review of all the legal changes, especially the recent ones, there was a recent one just in the past few months, we looked at our current policies very carefully and revised those, and after careful consideration with counsel, we came up with these revisions that we think address the changes that need to be made, but still maintaining safety at the highest level that we can.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Are there any other comments? Okay. All those in favor of action item 4, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. The revised Facilities Code of Conduct and Rules of the Road have been adopted. Do you have a report, Ms. Howard?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Mr. Polachicchio provided a summary document of recent activities in the Customer and Business Development Department. Highlights of this month's report included information on the June 4th launch of RTA Connect and the Read on RTA Free Ride for a Book campaign that took place on June 2nd. Mr. Polachicchio indicated that plans for the downtown circulator's suggested route continues to form and that the RTA has been facilitating feedback from the community partners about what the official name for the circulator should be, as well as the design. Mr. Polachicchio also mentioned that the RTA Summer Passport will go on sale May 22nd, and that this year Fifth Third Bank agreed to sell the passes. The pass provides unlimited rides between June 1st and August 31st. Passes are $55 and are available to area students between the ages of 13 and 18. This concludes my report, Madam President, and Mr. Polachicchio or I will be available to answer any questions you might have.
Do we have any questions? Okay. Let's move on to the Chief Executive Officer's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple items, and heck, what parent would not spend $55 to give their young adolescent mobility for the summer? What a great opportunity that is. Just a couple informational items. The board is very well aware of one of our strategic plan goals is this concept, or I would prefer to call it a vision that we have, that eventually what we'll have in this region is one call, one click. So anyone who needs transportation, we don't, in whatever form that might be, that at the end of one phone call or one set of clicks on the computer, they would have their ride, and it could be for any possible purpose. It could be a ride on the big bus system. That is a traditional way people move in our community. It could be a dialysis trip on a variety of different human service transportation options. So that's something we're working very hard towards, and Brandon's team is getting very active in that role right now, working with both our regional partners and state-level partners. And Brandon and I have been to a couple meetings in Columbus, and then a couple weeks ago, we actually hosted here in this facility people from the State Department of Medicaid out of Columbus, and from the Governor's Office of Health Transformation. Those are the folks that, you know, have the ear of the governor in terms of getting some things changed on the administrative side in Columbus. And we've been pitching this concept that we have and the vision we have for our community as one that we worked in conjunction with ODOT on, because it could be replicated across the state. We're big believers in that. And it was a big step to get them here, to host them and kind of give them a feel of not only that vision, but our qualifications to be a regional leader in that way. So we're very happy that, you know, it's moving at a pace that probably Brandon and I would like to be a little faster. But I think we're finally having conversations with the right people, and they're getting this understanding that, you know, our population, MVRPC is somebody we rely on heavily for our data. You know, by the year 2030, and that's not that far away, the population of seniors, and I guess that would include me at this point, is going to increase by 55%. Also, just in our region, the population of people with a disability is going to increase by 21%. What it says to me as a transportation professional is there's going to be more and more huge amounts of demand for the various services we provide, like Connect and these new projects we're getting involved in. We also instinctively know that with today's technology, if a central broker manages all the different fleets, there's dozens of fleets in our region providing similar transportation, that we can move more people in the most effective way. So that's our vision, that's our end game, and this is another big step. We hope to have another meeting in Columbus, and we're hoping at some point perhaps a pilot project can be done here in our community with us in the lead role to get something like this started that could be replicated at least before I retire, and I'm in need of this transportation. So I do have a selfish interest, but I really do believe this is something that, you know, we are best suited to be at the forefront of. So stay tuned for more on that. I know the board's aware that I was asked to serve on a committee with the National Academy of Sciences, the Transportation Research Board. It has to do with bike share and public transportation. We had our last meeting of the group a few weeks back, and the final report, Dayton's going to be one of the case studies in the published report, and because of the uniqueness of our approach to bike share in this community, which I like to call the Dayton way, because it really is. We have a very hybrid approach to how we're managing the bike share operation, and that'll be a great report. I'll make sure you get to see that when it gets released. Also, you'll notice over by Brandon on the table that he's got some hardware there. Looks very impressive, and I'd like him to explain what that is.
I wanted to take a minute and recognize Jessica Olson and the communications team on winning an international award. I can actually say this is not one of those cheap awards. This thing's really heavy. For the ABA Digital Awards 2017 gold winner for our summer passport video that we shot last year when we kicked the campaign off. They were recognized recently at the awards and received this gold award in 2017. So we're really proud of the group. If you haven't seen the video, it's up on Facebook. It's a great video. We have some employee family members that are in there, so that was really great to have. But again, congratulations to this group. This is a big deal on the international stage in terms of advertising and video production. And also thank DH Productions, who are actually here today, and their work on this, which went in to make the video really great.
And with that, I would like to request, if the board so desires, an executive session to discuss personnel matters. It should be brief, but that would be all I have to report unless there are questions.
We do have requests for 2 public comments before we get to executive.
Oh, sure.
We do have it on the agenda.
At your pleasure.
So, there is no old business. There is no new business. And at this time, we have requests from 2 individuals to make public comments. Just a reminder, you speak on your own behalf. You come to the podium unless you cannot, in which case we'll bring a microphone to you. You give us your name, your address, and your topic, and then the timer starts. You have 3 minutes. When you get down to 30 seconds, the yellow light comes on. When your time is up, the red light comes on. We ask you to please be seated when the red light comes on. So the first request is from Gary Rice.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Gary Rice, 553 Daytona Parkway, apartment 5, Dayton, Ohio. My concern is a route change. As a 3-year rider of the Route 24 who has addressed concerns about this in the past, I'm sure you all remember, with the bus running late on Sunday morning, I'm wondering why the route addition caused the bus time to run later instead of earlier, preventing me from connecting with the Route 1 heading downtown from West Town. Caused me to no longer reach my destination on time. Because I don't have the opportunity to even get my own car no matter how much I make. So that bus got moved forward to a later time with that new addition.
Is there an earlier bus?
Nah, because of my work schedule. When I first started riding it, I was working at Walmart by the Dayton Mall, then the Meyer on Springboro Pike, and now the Kettering Hospital. And I've always made my work schedule run right on point with that bus because I'm a very stickler about being on time to places, especially my church service. So when I got these jobs, I said, write the availability down to make that bus. And then I seen that and said, oh no. That 19 ain't gonna work out for you. So I see you gotta get on that 19 going south, get to the South Hub. Since you already know the 24 gonna work out for you, then I look up this week and find out what happened.
We'll pass this concern on to Mark, and he'll look at,
Yeah, well, Brandon and Michelle will get with Gary and see if, and perhaps, maybe there's a connection at the other end we can make, or we'll work with you either way to see what we can do to address the concern.
Thank you very much.
thank you. The next is from Brenda McHardy.
Brenda McReynolds Hardy.
Oh, Brenda McReynolds Hardy. My apologies.
I skipped a little bit.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Madam President, board members. I am a 30-year RTA retiree. Oh, I'm sorry. Brenda McReynolds Hardy, Belmont Park, North Dayton, Ohio. And I am a 30-year retiree from Greater Dayton RTA. And I did get a bus pass to ride the bus, so I do. So I'm both. I'm a driver, retiree, and a passenger. I have a concern, and I had this concern when I was a driver. Packages, bags, books on the seats. When I get on the bus, there's bags on the seats, and they don't move them. You got to walk almost to the back of the bus. And when I'm sitting on that bus as a retiree, and I see seniors and handicapped people walking past these same seats, and they're afraid to ask these people to move them. The drivers are kind of intimidated to ask. So I thought I might have maybe 3 solutions. One, you know the signs that you have up, the rules posted on the sign. You have speakers on the buses where the driver can push and say, please remove your packages. And then you have the driver. It's safe for the driver to have that sign there and the speaker, because that way he can eliminate having a
Interaction. It's not on the
absolutely,
driver. It's,
absolutely. So if we could do that, I would appreciate that more, because it bothers me to see passengers having to walk past seats that are available. Make sense? Thank you.
And Mark, we'll pass this one on to you also for consideration. Okay. And that is it for our public comments. Now we'll have board member comments or announcements, and I'll start down at this end.
No comment, Madam Chair.
I do not think it's fair. I can't put my 8-year-old on the bus all summer, so I don't have to take him anywhere. Finally coming. He looks 13.
Yeah. And your daughter acts 13.
She's 30.
Madam President, I have no comment.
I have no comment.
No comments from me.
I just have a short comment. I wanted to give an attaboy to Brendan Paluccio and Nicole Miller. I ended up at the West Carrollton City Council meeting on May 23rd, and I got to see Nicole and Brandon and Sally. I don't see Sally here, make a presentation on the RTA Connect. And I was there for my grandson's certification as a fireman, but I was real pleased to see them step up and do a great job. It was pretty evident from the city council that the IT world is taking over. So anyway, I thought I was glad it timely worked out to see you guys at work doing your job.
Madam President, I have no comment.
Okay. At this time on the agenda, we are down to a request for an executive session.
Then we have a motion to discuss the appointment, employment, or promotion of employees. An executive session to discuss.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning into executive session for the purpose of?
Roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you call the roll for those who are in favor? No.
Roll call.
Roll call. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Corrado,
Yes.
Ms. Harrison,
Yes.
Ms. Byrd,
Yes.
Mr. Oden,
Yes.
Ms. Howard,
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin,
Yes.
Mr. Williamson,
Yes.
Mr. Wexler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. We're now adjourned into executive session. The purpose is to discuss the appointment, employment, or promotion of employees. There will not be any action taken when we come out of executive session.